What's up, ladies and gentlemen? It's your boy Breezy, and you are watching Breezy World. So today we got another movie review. We're gonna be reviewing the Harriet Tubman movie. First and foremost, before we get into the movie review, I just wanna take this time to tell y'all to subscribe, hit the like button. We're trying to get to 100 subscribers by March, so help your brother out and subscribe. I see that a lot of y'all watch me. I'll be looking at my analytics and see that a lot of y'all do watch me, but y'all just not hitting the subscribe button. So, go ahead and hit the subscribe button. There ain't no point in watching me if you ain't gonna hit the subscribe button. You know what I'm saying? Just take 2 seconds. 2 seconds just to hit the subscribe button. So, do that. Share the videos, and we're gonna get into it. Now, first things first. The Harriet movie. I saw it. Not last week, I think 2 weeks ago, and honestly, y'all, I couldn't rock with it, man. I couldn't rock with it, man. And I know a lot of y'all gonna look at me sideways, and be like, "Come on, man, let's move about Harriet Tubman. Let's move about our hero, whatnot." Hey, man, I just gotta keep it $150. This movie was not a good depiction of Harriet Tubman, not a good depiction of her life. But we're gonna get into it, and I'm gonna tell you why I feel the way I feel about this movie. So first thing first, we gotta address the elephant in the room. Cynthia Erivo, if I'm saying that correctly, who is the star in this movie. She's playing Harriet Tubman. She got into, I wouldn't say she got into trouble, but there was some backlash regarding some tweets that she had made a while back that had resurfaced when she was basically mocking black African Americans. She's actually a African British or a black British person of Nigerian descent, if I'm correct. But she was mocking African Americans, black people who are from America, and mocking the ghetto American accents and whatnot. Now, I'm not gonna lie, that when those tweets resurfaced, that did rub me the wrong way. That made me feel some type of way, like, okay, I'm not gonna see this movie, and that's what she's gonna be doing, because it didn't make sense to me that you gonna be starring in a movie about one of our heroes, one of Black Americans' most regarded heroes. You gonna play her, and then make fun of the people whose hero that you're playing. Like that rubbed me the wrong way. However, I still decided to give this movie a chance, because I wasn't gonna let that stop me from seeing the movie. Because I'm the type of person, I'm gonna separate the actor from the character. Okay, you may be a bad, I'm not gonna say she's a bad person, but that right there was stupid to me. That was messed up. I may have a problem with that, but that's different from your performance. You know what I'm saying? What you do in your everyday life as a person is different from your performance. So I was gonna judge her solely on her performance in the movie, and she performed in the movie well as an actress. However, the movie itself, I couldn't rock with it. So the first thing that we're going to deal with regarding this movie is the twisted, messed up love affair between Harriet and her master, who is trying to chase her. So her master is Gideon Bordess, who is the son of Edward Bordess, who owned the farm before him and passed away, and ended up leaving his estate to Gideon. And Gideon basically, from what we can tell in the movie, he grew up with Harriet and basically watched her grow up, and probably was her playmate at one point during their childhood, and later on throughout their life was probably her lover. It didn't go all the way out and say that they were lovers, but it kind of hinted at that throughout the movie. And the funny thing about that is the character Gideon Bordess never existed in any account of Harriet Tubman's life, there is no such character as Gideon Bordess, or no such. There's no evidence that she had either a love affair with any of her owners. Edward Bordess did have 4 sons, but none of them were named Gideon. And in any account of Harriet Tubman's life, it has no mention of her being involved in a love affair with any of them. So that begs the question of, why did they make up this fictional character, Gideon Bordess? Why did they invent this fictional love affair that Harriet Tubman supposedly had with this dude? And why did they make that a theme throughout the movie? It's almost like they wanted us to have sympathy for the slave masters, and almost to the point to where they're trying to say, oh well, throughout slavery, it wasn't that bad. In fact, some of the masters were in love with their slaves, and they didn't want to kill them, because throughout the movie, Gideon didn't really want to kill Harriet. You know what I'm saying? He actually towards the end of the movie, he actually ended up saving her life, because he didn't really want to kill her. What he wanted to do was catch her and bring her back to the farm, and probably just claim her as his. Like the way that Gideon was acting towards Harriet throughout the movie was like he's like chasing down like an ex-girlfriend. That's kind of vibe he had throughout the movie, and I'm like, okay, I didn't come to watch a twisted slave version of Romeo and Juliet. That's not what I came here to watch. I came here to watch my hero, Harriet Tubman. That's what I came to watch. So why would you add this element into the movie? It's almost like they had an alternative agenda throughout this movie. You know what I'm saying? And I can rock with that. Then we have to address the fact that this movie was a very, 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 very watered down version of a slave movie. One of the most watered down slave movies I've ever seen in my life. It's not like Roots. Like Roots, especially like the new Roots. Of course, it doesn't show exactly how bad slavery really was, because even Roots, Roots kind of dials it back. I think if any movie were to show like how slavery really was, it wouldn't be fit for the big screen. But besides that, like if you look at Roots, for example, Roots basically, you kind of get a feel of how effed up slavery kind of was. You know what I'm saying? It didn't show everything else effed up about it, but you kind of got that feel of how messed up it really was. Whereas the Harriet movie, it was watered down. Like, bro, this is a slave movie. Like, you gotta be real with it. They watered Harriet Tubman down. You know what I'm saying? In fact, within the movie, Harriet Tubman, I don't think they ever depicted her killing any white dude or any slave master or anybody within the movie, which I think is very watered down, because the real Harriet Tubman, you know what I'm saying? I'm pretty sure she pulled that trigger at least once or twice throughout her life. You know what I'm saying? We're talking about a woman who fought in the Civil War, okay? We're talking about a woman who not only did she free herself, she made it 100 miles to freedom on her own, but then made multiple trips back into the South and back to the North, freeing multiple slaves, and she rode around with a shotgun. You know what I'm saying? So you mean to tell me throughout Harriet Tubman's entire life, she ain't never had to pull that trigger? She ain't never had to shoot nobody with that shotgun? Come on, bro. Like, that's not real. Like, be real with it. You know what I'm saying? The real Harriet Tubman was a gangster. You know what I'm saying? Let's be real with this. Like, don't stop watering down slave movies. And I can see why a lot of black people that I know personally, and a lot of black people that I've heard say that they're tired of seeing slave movies. I get it. Like, now me, I'm not one of those folks who say I'm tired of seeing slave movies, because I actually enjoy them if you do it right, because I've always loved history. You know what I'm saying? History was my favorite subject in school, and I especially love Black history. I love my history, even if we talk about slavery, which is probably the darkest part of Black history. But I love history. You know what I'm saying? But if you're gonna do a historical film by one of our heroes, you gotta be real with it. You gotta be real. Like Nate Parker's Nat Turner, for example. There's certain elements that they got wrong in that movie too, but it was grimy like that. You know what I'm saying? They didn't water shit down. That's what I'm trying to get at. So don't water my history down, please. Don't. And of course, we had to deal with this black slave catcher that they just had to put into this movie. They just had to put a black man being a slave catcher in this movie. Now, the black dude that they put in the movie to be the slave catcher, the character went by the name of Bigger Long, and basically he was a bounty hunter who went around catching slaves for money. While there were such characters in history, this character, again, is somebody who never existed. There's no historical evidence that Bigger Long ever existed, or there's no evidence at all that Harriet Tubman ever came in contact with the black slave catcher. As a matter of fact, if you know the history of slavery, you know there was very, 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 very few black slave catchers. And when I mean black slave catchers, I'm not talking about black people who helped catch slaves with the white people who were actually slaves themselves, because that didn't exist. There were a lot of black people who helped the white people catch slaves. However, those black people were slaves themselves, and they were forced to go help the white people catch other slaves. As far as a black person operating independently on his own, voluntarily going out and catching slaves, there's very, 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 very few that actually did that. And there's no evidence that Harriet Tubman ever came in contact with any of them, because the number of people, black folks like that, were so minuscule, it's not even worth talking about in history. Yet they just had to put him in the movie. So, think about it. Like, you take that time period. Take 1846, for example. Do you think white folks are really going to be comfortable with a whole bunch of black men going out there, being bounty hunters on some Django Unchained type shit, riding around with guns and shit? No. You know what I'm saying? That was not common back in 1846. No. I just feel like this movie just had an alternative agenda. Like, why? Again, because we gotta address the fact that the slave master who Harriet Tubman apparently had this love affair with ended up at the end of the movie saving her. And in fact, he ended up saving her from the black dude who was the slave catcher. So you basically made the white guy, the white slave owner, the hero. I'm not saying he's the hero of the movie, but he is the one who saved Harriet Tubman's life. And you made the black guy the monster. You know what I'm saying? Why? You know what I'm saying? You think about it, the black dude was so bad, because, okay, spoiler alert, at the end of the movie, the black guy is chasing Harriet around, and he corners her, and basically she shoots at him, and he pulls out his gun and says, "You finna die, bitch," and basically gets ready to shoot Harriet in the back, and the white guy has to stop him and shoot him in the head and kill him in order to save Harriet Tubman's life. Because the white guy, mind you, the white guy doesn't want to kill Harriet. He really in love with her. He don't want to kill her. He wants to, capture her and take her back to the plantation and live happily ever after. So you had to invent. Not only did you invent this white savior, but you had to invent a black criminal, a black thug, who was so big and bad that he had to be stopped by the white man. You know what I'm saying? And you don't think there's an alternative agenda to this movie? Come on, bro. Like they, not only that, there's a scene in the movie where he's being hired by what's the dude's name? Gideon Bordes, who's the slave master. He's being hired by Gideon Bordes to go chase Harriet. Side note, there's no history. There's no historical evidence that the Bordeses ever hired any black slave catchers. You know what I'm saying? But apparently in the movie, he hired this black slave catcher, and he basically asks him, okay, well, because the black slave catcher, Bigger Long, basically says, okay, my price is $200. Now, in that time period, $200 probably is around like, I don't know what $200 would be in that time period. Probably 20,000. Don't quote me on that. I'm not sure what the economics was back in that time period. But if I were to guess, man, I say $200 back in that time period, it was about like 20,000. So he asked for $200 to help him catch Harriet Tubman, and what's the name? And Gideon basically asked him, "What do you want? What are you gonna do with $200?" And Big Long replies, "I'm gonna buy all the white whores I can get." And I just sat there watching, like, wow. So you invented this made up black thug who is going out here catching slaves and whatnot, all for the sole purpose so he can go and sleep with white women. You know what I'm saying? That's you know what I'm saying? That's the villain that you decided to come up with in this movie about Harriet Tubman's life. I really feel like they just had an alternative motive to make this black dude, like, to show like a black man being a evil thug. Basically, that's how I feel like they just had to do that. Like, I can't rock with that, bro. And think about that. Like, this is 1846. Just for a black man to even mention, because Big Long was apparently a free black man, but just for any black man in the South to mention that he wanted to sleep with white women or whatnot, or, it don't matter if you're talking about whores or whatnot, just the fact that he mentioned that he wanted to sleep with white women, that would have got him hung right then and there. It's 1846. You know what I'm saying? We talk, you know what I'm saying? You remember the Emmett Till story? This little boy apparently whistled at a white girl. And apparently, the story turns out that he never even whistled at the woman. But in the Emmett Till story, he allegedly whistled at a white woman and got murdered. You know what I'm saying? But this free slave catcher in 1846 just revealed his sole purpose of doing what he's doing is to sleep with white women, and they didn't kill him. Like, what? Come on, bro. Like, this movie is kind of goofy, bro. It's kind of goofy. Now, mind you, like I said earlier, it's a very watered down movie, so they don't show Harriet Tubman ever shooting one of the slave owners or shooting one of the white dudes who's gonna catch her or doing any of that. I don't think. Well, they did show her pulling the trigger. I'm not even gonna lie. But she never actually killed nobody or did anything really violent. So mind you, this is a slave movie, but they watered down all the violence, right? But the only violent scene that we have in this movie, the only real violent scene in this movie is when the black slave catcher that they invented is killing this black woman who's a shop owner in Pennsylvania. Another character, mind you, that they just made up. So not only did they have to make up a white savior, they had to make up this black woman who's a shopkeeper who was, I like that character because she was a very dignified woman, and she's the kind of character that was likable in the movie. Like, I was like, okay, she got her stuff together. She's a black woman in Pennsylvania who owns a shop and she's doing big things and whatnot. but they just invented her just so she can be murdered by this black thug that they had to invent as well. You know what I'm saying? Just to further make a black man look like he's the ultimate villain, which he really was. In this movie, he was the ultimate villain. You know what I'm saying? He was actually worse than the white slave master, because the white slave master didn't even want to kill Harriet. You know what I'm saying? He actually wanted, this black slave caster that they made up didn't give a fuck about nothing. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, bro. Like, they had an agenda with this movie, like a alternative agenda. Like, come on, y'all gotta keep it funky, bro. But you know what I'm saying? That's all I really had to say about this movie. In my opinion, I'm gonna have to give this joint 2 stars, dog. 2 stars. 2 stars because the acting was good. I'm not gonna lie, the acting was pretty good. And it was well shot. The scenes are beautiful. That's all I really can say positive about this movie. The other side of the token is I do feel like it was basically an agenda to show like the white dude as the savior, as well as the bad guy as a villain, and they did it all under the veil of Harriet Tubman the hero. Like that was the veil that they put this agenda over to kind of pretty it up. But that's what I feel like the agenda was. But y'all tell me what y'all think in the comment section. Maybe I'm tripping, okay? Maybe I'm tripping. As I said, this is. Oh, I'm sorry. I thought my camera stopped recording. Yeah, maybe I'm tripping. Maybe I'm just nitpicking. Maybe I'm just whatever. But that's how I truly felt watching this movie. So y'all tell me. Listen. Every review I do is not going to be a positive review. Some of these reviews, is probably going to be where I don't like the movie. So this is one of them times where I didn't really rock with the movie. But that's just my opinion. Okay, so I'm not going to sit here and with every review I do and tell you, hey, I just love this movie. Nah, I mean I gotta be real. If I didn't like it, I didn't like it. But that's my opinion. So y'all ain't gotta agree with it. Y'all ain't gotta like my opinion. Y'all can disagree. That's fine. Let me know in the comment section if you disagree. I want to hear y'all's opinions. Y'all let me know if y'all think I'm tripping. If you think I gotta go rewatch it and maybe maybe I gotta reevaluate it. But that's how I felt. If y'all felt the same way I felt, let me know in the comment section. If y'all don't, let me know in the comment section. And it is what it is. But that's the end of this video. Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. As I said at the beginning of the video, we're trying to get to 100 subscribers before March. A lot of y'all watch me. Y'all ain't hitting the subscribe button. Ain't no point in really watching me if you ain't gonna hit the subscribe button. So take the 2 seconds it takes to hit the subscribe button. It only takes 2 seconds. So hit that subscribe button and hit that like button. Share these videos and support me. And that's all I gotta say for today. Yeah, peace.